Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to NoDQ&A Video, the official Q&A video series of NoDQ.com. Make sure you stop by NoDQ.com this week for all the latest regarding TNA Lockdown. Lockdown is this Sunday on pay-per-view, and NoDQ.com will have coverage as usual, so check out NoDQ.com for the latest. With that being said, let's get right down to your questions. First one today comes from Little Dizzle 4000. Hey Aaron, I'm a big fan. Thank you for that. I think this year's WrestleMania 29 is the most predictable ever. I mean, I can almost predict. Cena and Triple H get their wins back, Undertaker retains a streak, and Dolph may cash in. Do you think it can go any different? Please answer in video. There's always a possibility that WWE could change things around and throw a little curveball at everybody. If they think things are too predictable, they may decide to shock everybody and do something unexpected. You cannot rule it out. But then again, WWE has a set plan, and some things are set. WWE can't change it. The Rock's going to be leaving after WrestleMania, so one would think Cena is going to get his win back. Since Rock's going to be gone, and since Rock already beat Cena, you don't want to have Cena lose twice. People talk about, what about John Cena turning heel, Rock beating Cena again, and then Cena going heel. I think it's highly unlikely. That would be a huge shock if John Cena was to turn heel and WWE finally pulled the trigger at WrestleMania. But I would be very, very surprised if that happened. And you could always have Brock Lesnar beat Triple H again. I mean, it's possible. If Brock Lesnar, before Brock Lesnar signed his new deal, I would have certainly believed that Triple H was going to get his win back. But now that Brock's sticking around for another year, I could see Brock getting another win over Triple H, and them continuing, WWE continuing to build Brock Lesnar as a monster. So, I mean, that could happen. And I talked about in the previous video, I think there's a decent shot CM Punk could end the streak, especially if Undertaker, Mark Calloway, feels that he wants to put over somebody on his way out. And, this might be his last match. He might be done after this year's WrestleMania. It's really hard to say. If Undertaker is going to do WrestleMania 30, then in all likelihood he'll keep the streak going. But we'll have to wait and see. I mean, this could be it for Undertaker. We don't know. And Dolph Ziggler cashing in. I mean, who knows? I mean, I think it should happen. I mean, I hope it happens. I hope that is predictable that he cashes it in, because it wouldn't. I mentioned this before. It wouldn't make sense for him to not cash it in at WrestleMania. I mean, that's the biggest show of the year. That would be the time to cash it in. It would just make his character look dumb if he doesn't do it. So, sometimes predictability is a good thing, and sometimes it's not. But yeah, hopefully WWE does something that us, the hardcore smarks, aren't expecting. It's always cool to have a surprise, even when you're on the internet and you're following this stuff really closely. It's nice to be surprised every now and then. All right, hi Aaron, I'm a big fan. I'm buying that The Miz can live up. Are you buying that The Miz can live up to being Ric Flair's protege? I mean, Ric Flair's a legend, and Miz is a mid-card at best. I'm not buying it. Your thoughts? Yeah, I mean, it's hard for The Miz to even come close to being at Ric Flair's level, and that could be the case for so many people. Trying to follow the footsteps of Ric Flair. Definitely when Ric Flair's out there with Miz seems like a bigger star. I mean, he definitely gets the rub from Ric Flair, no doubt about it. But when Miz is on his own, it's really hard for him to stand out. And, some people think it's an insult that Miz is doing the figure 4 leg lock. But, at least they're trying. I mean, it's always good for somebody who is over to try to help get somebody who's not quite as over. And, the Miz is over to a degree. But it definitely helps to have somebody like Ric Flair as your mentor or whatever. So, you know what? At least they're trying to do something with Miz and trying to make something out of him. It's just, it's weird that he went from being the main event of WrestleMania, and now he's, barely got a spot, on the Raw TV show every week. All right, this one comes from Aussie Hitman 98. Hey Aaron, seeing that the Big Show was attacked by the Shield, will Big Show turn from heel to face for the 500th time? Not necessarily. They don't have to turn Big Show heel. In fact, it actually makes the match a little bit more interesting. If they're going to do a 6-man match, it does add a little bit more intrigue if you have Big Show not getting along with Sheamus and Randy Orton. If Big Show's just a happy-go-lucky babyface, with Sheamus and Orton. There's not that drama. So if you keep Big Show as a heel, and you tease the fact that him and Sheamus don't get along, and Big Show and Orton don't get along, that whole dynamic adds a little bit more interest into the match, and makes you wonder, can these guys coexist? So you don't really have to turn Big Show here. I think you can keep him as a heel, and he just has a common enemy. That's the one thing he has in common with Sheamus and Orton, is that he wants to take out the Shield. But beyond that, you don't have to have him turn face, I don't think. All right, this one comes from Southside King 3. Hi, Aaron. Should SmackDown be live on Tuesday nights? You know what? On paper, that sounds like a great idea. The problem is, first of all, going live every week is an added expense. It's very expensive to run live. So in order for it to be justified, they would have to see a significant increase in ratings in order to do that. And people always say live is so much better than taped, and the ratings do so much better. But that's not really the case. I mean, you go back to the late 90s, the taped Raws would usually do just as good of a rating as the live Raws. It didn't really make all that much of a difference. And it's a different era now. More people are online, and everybody has easy access to spoilers. But still, I mean, the times that SmackDown does go live, that you don't really see a huge increase. Now, I do agree that they should move away from Friday nights. This is something they should have done a long time ago. Friday nights are, in my opinion, not a good night to do wrestling. A lot of people go out on Friday night, and I think they would be better off on another night. It would be hard to do a taped show and then have it go on Tuesday night, so they would probably be best doing like a Wednesday night or something. I don't think they'll go head-to-head with Impact. I mean, they could, but I think that their best bet would be to tape Tuesday night and then air it Wednesday night. I think that that's a good way to go. But you know what? They seem comfortable doing the Friday night, so whatever. Alright, that'll do it for this edition of NoDQ&A video. Thanks as always for watching. Subscribe, youtube.com/NoDQCW. Tell a friend on Facebook or Twitter, and I will see you next time for more NoDQ&A video.